Good morning, everybody. Joe Van Doren here, and welcome to a Monday morning and a great virtue to focus on today. One that we want everyone around us to do, and I am sure that we are all doing it to the best of our ability at this very moment, and that virtue is truthfulness. So let's read the description first, and let's just talk a little bit about how we're going to focus on it today. Truthfulness is the bedrock of integrity on which we build all our other virtues. It is an ongoing commitment to live by what is real, authentic, and true for us. We make realistic decisions. We do not lie, cheat, or deceive. We tell the truth kindly. Our words and actions are trustworthy. Our promise is our bond. We do not allow others to have undue influence on our perceptions. We investigate the truth with our own eyes. Truth tells us that we are not here to live another's dream or to be all things to all people. We live our own true nature. So that's the description of truthfulness. What a beautiful description, and one that I think is going to be very helpful as we go through the day and the week and months and years, and to be thinking about, are we being truthful? And as I read this, I was thinking about how, am I being truthful to myself in a lot of different ways? Either, starting with that whole judgment thing that happens, where we say to ourselves very negative things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not whatever enough. And most of the time, if we look at those things, no, not most of the time, all of the time, there could be some strand of truth in some of it, but in all, many of the negative things that we say to ourselves are not true. And they come from being worried about what others are thinking of us, being worried about, whether we're pleasing other people, and whether, we're doing, what is right or acceptable socially or whatever. And I think that's one of the things that really stood out to me is that are we investigating the truth for our own eyes, or are we relying on the influences of all of the influences that are around us, whether it's other people, relatives, media, just the whole social thing that sometimes, people will quietly say things in their own mind, but won't speak them out, won't speak their truth out of fear of being, canceled or whatever else might take place. And yet, living our own true nature is really key to to all the virtues. It's looking at ourselves in a truthful manner and saying to ourselves, okay, who am I? And am I demonstrating this virtue in the way that is the best way for myself and for others? And am I doing so in a balanced way? So we could be truthful and yet not be balanced about it. We may be saying things out loud and even to ourselves that don't balance with tact, or don't balance with kindness, and so, or thoughtfulness. And so, we have to be just aware that truthfulness, while it is the foundation of all virtues, it also must be balanced with the other virtues. And so, that's one of the ways that I'm thinking about that today. I was thinking also about this idea of being committed to living our true, authentic selves. And I'm doing this from the viewpoint of being a parent and asking ourselves about whether we're allowing our children to be themselves. And that doesn't mean that they don't understand or appreciate or follow or the norms of the society that we live in, or those kinds of things. But it does mean that if we are not allowing our children to be themselves, at some point they're going to rebel. I can just about guarantee that. And it may not happen until they're in their late teens or 20s or 30s or whatever, where they finally decide, I haven't been true to myself. I haven't done what was right for me. And so, and then they have some period of time that's a little rough, right? So, how do we do this? How do we help our children to develop this truthfulness? And I believe it's by listening to them very carefully and by obviously setting the example for them, but helping them to see what their true nature is, and helping them to balance all of these virtues and who they are. If they're an artist, they're an artist, right? And I'm telling you, just from my experience with my own children, you're not going to make them into something else. If they're a writer, they're probably not going to be a football player. Or they may not enjoy the same sort of sports and things that you enjoy. If they are someone who likes to work with their hands and to build things and create things, then they may not be that person that does well sitting in a classroom. And so, being truthful with ourselves, but also allowing our children to be truthful to themselves is key. Recently, I saw this thing where it was saying, we have to reach a time where allowing our children to have careers in areas of life where they're working with their hands, the plumbers, electricians, the masons, and all the different, mechanics and all of that. And there is, and has been anyway, quite a pushback that everybody needs to go a certain course in life. And many times that's going to college or being in the classroom or whatever. And truthfully, that's just not the case. And we see it. And we also see the individuals who go to college who mess up, and it's just not their thing. They're just not able to do that. It's not who they are. So are we allowing our children to be who they are, or are we trying to get them to do exactly what we want them to do, not considering their perceptions and their truth in their own lives? So I don't know. That's something that I think every parent needs to consider. And I'll be honest with you, it's one of those things that I wish now, after we've 4 kids, and we wish that there's a couple of them that we wish that we hadn't insisted that they go to college, because they were really meant or best in other ways, and there were some that were meant for that kind of lifestyle. So, and it was good for them. So at any rate, that's my thoughts today about truthfulness. I'm going to be focusing on it from the viewpoint of, am I being truthful with myself? Am I lying to myself or cheating myself by not doing what I know I want to do and that is best for me? Or am I really being true to myself and not lying about not being enough of a whole bunch of things? That's how I'm going to focus on it today. So thank you very much for being here, and we look forward to tomorrow and the virtues pick and focus for tomorrow. But in the meantime, keep practicing the virtues and the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. So until next time, bye.